Does anybody remember Fat Albert? Can we talk about Bill Cosby stuff anymore? Anyway, hi. Hey. Uh, Welcome to Walking the Path. I don't know where that came from, but I am so grateful that you're here. Come on in. Thank you for joining us. I'm here. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm at Rythmia today. Hey, everybody. I can't see you over there in Instagram world, but hello, welcome. Hey, I see Diego. Hey, brother. Welcome, everybody. So I'm at Rythmia today, and another amazing week at Rythmia. And what I love about what happens here every week is that individuals merge back together with their soul. They see the mask that they've been putting on, with what we think we need to do to get our needs met. We merge back together with our soul and we heal our hearts and forgive the unforgivable. Those are such powerful group intentions that we set here every week. And the amazing thing is, every week and many weeks, 100% of the guests get that. 100%. We have a statistic that our key performance indicator is the miracle rate. And it's basically, did you see you become merged with your soul and heal your heart? That's a miracle. When you see you've become merged with your soul and heal your heart. And many, many weeks, 100% of people check yes. Our average is 97, almost 98%. It's amazing. And it's this beautiful package, this beautiful program that's put together in a super intentional way that moves you in a week with 4 plant medicine ceremonies, 3 breathwork ceremonies, meditation, yoga, colonics, massage, hot plunge, cold plunge, sauna, mud baths, the whole shebang. Great food, amazing people, and an amazing staff. Our staff here, woo, I love my family. We're family. I've been here 6 years. Amazing 6 years that I've been here. And I'm so grateful. So you'll want to check out information about Rythmia. And I also want to share with you today's topic, which is Let Me See It number 2. Let me see it number 2. All right. So last week when we talked about Let Me See It, it was the idea that there's always some good here. There's always good seeking to emerge. Let me see it. That my favorite prayer is let me see it. Let me see the good. And we talked last week about how it's all good. And you know, a little review. We'll do a little review from last week and a recap from last week, and then we'll move into Let Me See It number 2. So last week's recap. Let me see it. It's all good. And you're going, but it's not all good. Like there's definitely things that I see in life that aren't good, you know? Well, the spiritual principle is that everything is working together for our good. That doesn't mean that everything is good, but it's working together for good. So how do I see the good? And we talked about quantum physics. An example that I really love to use is that in quantum physics, you can never get to absolute zero when it comes to a temperature. And what that means is that there's something hot and there's something cold. Like I know that duality exists in this dimension, right? Hot and cold, good and bad, light and dark. But no matter how cold it gets, you can never get to absolute zero, because no matter how cold it gets, there's always some movement. There's always a quantum filament of movement. There's movement, there's heat. So no matter how cold it gets, there's movement. If there's movement, then heat is the thing. It's just more or less heat. Cold is not a thing in and of itself. Cold is the absence of heat. Heat is the thing. Heat is a thing. Cold is the absence of heat. So it's not a thing. And so we apply that to good and bad, good and evil, light and dark. Evil, like we can look in the world and see there's some crazy things that we would say are evil going on in the world. But evil isn't a thing in and of itself. And no matter how dark it gets, there's always some light. No matter how dark that lump of coal is and how long it stayed in the earth, millions of years, when you burn that coal, light comes out of it. Light never dies. Darkness dies the minute the light comes. Light is always there. Heat is always there. Good is always there. So let me see it is calling forth that which is intrinsically always there. There might be less of it, but it's there. And then we have the power. We have the creative capacity to call that forth with, there's a biblical saying, if you have but eyes to see and ears to hear. So that's what Yeshua ben Yusuf was talking about. Let me see it is the declaration that I know it's there. I might not be able to see it. Now, that's moving now into let me see it number 2, because we don't want to spiritually bypass, right? Like if we just walk around going, oh, everything's good, but I'm feeling like this really sucks. I had a client today and he goes, oh man, I was working on this thing all morning, 2.5 hours. I was working on it. And just before I got on the call with you, he said, I hit the wrong button and I erased it all. 2.5 hours worth of work gone. And so we talked about this. Let me see it. Like right now, I can't see the good in that. I can't see the good. That sucks, right? And what we talked about was how important it is to honor our feelings, to honor the emotional body, to not bypass what we're feeling, and not to get stuck in it. So this is the second part of let me see it number 2, is that we want to honor our feelings. We want to honor our emotional body, but not get caught in the story. Honor the feeling and not get caught in the story. And that's basically the prayer, let me see it. So it's like, I don't want to just say, oh, it's great that you lost all your work. That's awesome. Good job, right? That's not real. That's not authentic. And truth is the remedy. Truth is the healing. Truth is healing, right? We don't want to be bypassing our feelings or what's so for us, because that's just covering something up and it's not authentic. And there's a contra energy there. We must acknowledge, man, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. I know that feeling. I've done it before when I've erased something. Oh man. Now I know that everything's working together for good. So what's seeking to emerge here? When the hard things in life happen, we ask empowering questions. What's seeking to emerge? What must I become? What is my lesson here? What is life asking from me in this situation? Right? We start to ask empowering questions, but we can't jump to the empowering questions. We have to first honor how we're feeling. Get in touch with the emotional body. It's like honoring the feeling is acceptance. Acceptance is one of the key principles of life. I have to accept. When we accept something, it doesn't mean that we're resigning ourselves to it being that way. Acceptance is actually the way that we get out of it. If we bypass it, I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to accept that. I don't want to accept that. This must be good. Great. Like all those statements are true. There must be some good here. It is what it is. Let's move on. All that's great. After you acknowledge how you're feeling. When we acknowledge our feelings, if we don't acknowledge our feelings, we can't see the opposite of those feelings, which is what's seeking to emerge. So here's the principle. Confusion is always the precursor to clarity. Anxiety is always the precursor to peace. The opposite is always seeking to emerge. If I am not acknowledging what I'm feeling, I can't see the opposite of what is actually seeking to emerge. So the first step is to acknowledge our feelings, to acknowledge what's so, and to accept it. And then, if I acknowledge my feelings, then I know if how I'm feeling is angry and stupid because I pressed the wrong button and erased all my work, I know that peace and clarity and intelligence are seeking to emerge. The opposite of those things is always seeking to emerge. But the first step is to accept what's so, to accept our emotional body. Now, there's a couple of ways to do that. One way is to check in with the emotional body. Like, how am I feeling? And to ask your emotional body what it needs in order to come into alignment with what is seeking to emerge. So I'm feeling really sad right now. Or let's say you have an intention. Here's a better way to go about it. You have an intention, and the intention is for peace, right? Or my intention is for prosperity. And I make a declaration. My intention is prosperity. But when I say that intention, I'm not feeling prosperous. So I have to check in. How am I feeling? I'm feeling dejected. I'm feeling not enough. I'm not feeling like I'm good enough. Okay, so we have to acknowledge that. Now, one way to get to acknowledge the feeling and not get caught in the story is to check in with the emotional body and ask it, what do you need to come into alignment with prosperity? What is it that I need? All right. So for me, if I'm not feeling enough in this moment, and my intention is to feel prosperous and accomplished and successful, and saying that doesn't resonate because I'm not feeling it, we're not going to be effective with our intention. So I have to check in with the emotional body. What do I need? What does my emotional body need in order to feel prosperous? Well, safe. For me, that's what came up. I need to feel safe because I'm not feeling safe right now. Okay. So what do I need to do to feel safe? And then I can look into some spiritual principles. Like, I know that I am one with God. I know that everything is working together for my good. I know that everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. And I can start working with myself to bring my emotional body into alignment. But it has to start with acknowledging it. Another way that you can do this is, one of my favorites is to put a Buddha on it, right? When I put a Buddha on it, I'm acknowledging and accepting a part of myself that I otherwise wouldn't want to accept. So, last couple of days, I don't know if you guys were feeling it, but last week or so, I've been on this roller coaster. Some days I'm feeling great and powerful and like agency in my life, and I'm really feeling powerful. And then the other days I'm feeling so low, like heavy. So a friend of mine, came to Roots at Rythmia to have lunch, and my friend said, "Hey, how you doing?" And my knee-jerk reaction was to be like, "Great," but that wasn't the truth. I needed to get in touch with my emotional body. So how can I get in touch with my emotional body, honor how I'm feeling, and not get caught in the downward spiral? I'm really feeling heavy today, and I'm not happy, and I'm not feeling enough, and I feel like everything is passing me by, all that bullshit, right? So I said to them, I'm really going through some stuff right now, but I know I'm going to get through it, and I know I'm going to be okay. That was the honest answer. That's honoring my feelings and not getting caught in the story. So another way, we were talking about put a Buddha on it, right? So I don't want to feel sad, right? When we're feeling sad, all I want to do is get out of feeling sad. So I'm like pushing that down. I don't want to feel sad. I'm trying to make myself feel better, but I just can't get out of it because the more I resist the sadness, the more it persists. So acknowledging it, accepting it, putting my Buddha on it, which means acceptance. Buddha is not some guy that lived 2,500 years ago and is smarter than any of us will ever be. Buddha means awareness, awakened consciousness, awareness. Buddha isn't the dude's name. Just like Christ isn't Jesus's last name. Christ means a level of consciousness. So when I'm placing my awareness on something, I'm placing my acceptance. Like, oh, I'm feeling sad right now. Okay. All right. When we accept something, we sometimes make the mistake of believing that if I accept it, I'm kind of resigned to feeling that. But actually, acceptance is the way that we unravel the pattern. Acceptance is the way that the sadness loses its power over us. The minute I acknowledge, I'm actually sad right now. Okay. And I know it's not always going to be this way. And I know that yesterday I didn't feel this way. And I'm going up and down right now. Okay. And I know that these feelings, there's just a voice in my head that's telling me this stuff. It's an old program. And that program is no longer valid. But I can't get out of it until I acknowledge it. It's looking for acknowledgement. It's looking for acceptance. And so when we accept it, we're allowing it. And when we allow it, it loses its power. So that's another way. The first way is checking in with your emotional body, asking what it needs to come into alignment with your intention. The second way is to put a Buddha on it, to put our awareness on it. There's not one part of you or one part of me that isn't worthy of feeling love and acceptance. And we are the ones that have to give ourselves that love and acceptance. Those parts of us that are sad, those parts of us that feel not enough, those parts of us that are worrying, those parts of us that feel like we're in lack, those parts just want more love, not less. And so we're the only ones that can do that. Like, come here. I see you. I acknowledge you. Not enoughness, worry. Okay. and not going to get caught in that story. I know that everything's working together for my good. I know then you can start working with your spiritual principle. I know that life is for me. I know that everything is that always works out for me. I know that life is for itself. I know that life goes before me and prepares what is necessary before I even ask for it. And that can be proved in nature. I've shared with you before, Brother Ishmael Teta from Ghana has a beautiful example. Before you were born, your mother's breast had milk waiting for you with all the nutrients and antibiotics and probiotics and all that stuff that you needed was already there, waiting for you. Life went before you and provided what was necessary before you even knew it was needed. That's a spiritual principle. And I can anchor into that principle only after I accept what I'm feeling, right? Only after I accept I'm feeling like life is against me right now, right? I can't just go, life is for me. When I'm feeling life is against me, there's a contradiction. So I have to acknowledge, I have to accept, I have to get in touch with my emotional body and what I'm feeling so that I can understand the opposite of what's seeking to emerge. Let me see it. Let me see the good that's here. Let me see the peace that's here. Let me see the joy that's here. Let me see the happiness that's here. Let me see the prosperity that's here. It's here. According to quantum physics, it's always there. It might be a little bit. And our job is to increase it through our awareness. If we have but eyes to see and ears to hear. And as we do that, we actually work some magic. We're actually working our magic on creating our life experience. We can create our life experience. We are the creators of our life experience. And it doesn't happen by denying what we're feeling. It only happens through the acceptance of what we're feeling, by acknowledging the emotional body and then seeing the opposite. How do you get to where you want to go? Because the opposite of what you're feeling is where you want to go. That's pretty clear. If I'm feeling sadness, joy is where I want to go. If I'm feeling worry, peace is where I want to go. If I'm feeling not enough, abundance and prosperity is where I want to go. So by getting in touch with my emotional body, I get to see the opposite of what's seeking to emerge. And then we get to say our prayer. Let me see it. I can't see it right now. So my client today that erased all of his work, 2.5 hours of work, I couldn't be like, everything's fine. And it happened because it should have happened. It was supposed to happen just the way that it did. That sucks to hear that. People want to hear like, oh man, I'm so sorry. That really sucks. That really sucks that happened. And I know that everything is happening for us. How is this for me? What is seeking to emerge here? What must I become? What is life asking of me in this situation? Because there's some good here. I can't see it. I couldn't tell him. And that's how I was honest with him. I said, I can't see the good that's here, but I know it's here. And then what we decided was maybe because it happened just as our session started. And this became the topic of our whole session. And so it was like, oh, that happened maybe for us to have this conversation. And he got clarity because what was going on for him was he was getting a promotion for his job and a big promotion. And he was going to have to start doing things. And he wasn't sure that he was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have what it takes to speak publicly and to do the things that this new position is calling forth for me to do. And so we got to say like, all right, we acknowledge our emotional body. There's some worry there. There's some doubt. There's some fear. So the opposite of what you're feeling is confidence and safety and trust. We couldn't see what the intention was until we acknowledged what he was feeling. And then the opposite of what we're feeling becomes the intention. So I think that's our talk today. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that you joined. I really love connecting with you all. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day, full to overflowing with goodness. Whatever you're going through, you are growing through. And today is the day. Now is the time for us to see it. Behold, I shall do a new thing, said the Lord of hosts. I shall make a way in the wilderness and a river in the desert, if ye have but eyes to see and ears to hear. Let me see it. Let me see it. That's my prayer. Let me see it. Let me see the good in my life. Let me see the prosperity in my life. Let me see the joy in my life. Let me see the blessings in my life. I can't see it right now because I might be feeling this way. I'm acknowledging how I'm feeling. and I'm not getting caught in the story. I'm now turning towards something. I'm turning towards the good. All right. I am so grateful and so thankful for this opportunity. I'm sending you so many blessings, richest blessings, knowing that you are surrounded by the infinite intelligence of God. The intelligence of God is within you. The one mind, the universal mind is within you. You have everything you need within you to overcome any doubt, worry, fear, lack, limitation, or not enoughness. Knowing that the love of God, the unconditional love of God enfolds you, wraps you like a warm blanket, heals you, comforts you, strengthens you. And the power of God, the power that created all the heavens and all the earth is within you. The same power that created all the heavens and all the earth is within you. You are infinitely more powerful. I am infinitely more powerful. We are infinitely more powerful than we could ever imagine. All the power of all the heavens and all the earth is within us. Let me see it. And so it is. Amen. Ashe, aho. Blessings. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just looked at Karen, said this talk was a blessing to me big time. Thank you so much, Karen. I'm so grateful. Thank you all. Many blessings. Talk to you soon. And so it is, Brother Jeff. So it is. All right, I'm coming over here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Oh, I forgot to turn you guys off over here. Blessings.